Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. All right, once again, the Royals are out and about having fabulous parties and doing fabulous things. And we're going to cover all of it. And I'm starting with this picture of Secret Weapons Sophie. I just love her. All right, let's jump in and get going. And we're going to start off with Sophie because there's a thing called the Addington Fund, which is there to help farmers and their families when there's a crisis. And Sophie, Countess of Wessex, is their patron. So she went to the Smerrill Dairy, and while she was there, she met farmers from across Gloucestershire, and she heard from them the challenges that they're facing and how that particular charity has helped them in their time of need. And of course, she got to do the cool stuff like feeding, the baby calves their milk and looking at their entire dairy production system and the equipment they use. I think that would be a really cool thing to go see. I wouldn't mind doing that myself. All right, moving on. Now, it's being reported that when she got done with that, she left the UK for the Netherlands. Yes, and she landed at the Rotterdam Hague Airport. And she was met at the airport by the UK ambassador, Miss Roper. Good for her. All right, moving on. Now, one of the reasons she went is we know that she's a big champion of women and security and fighting for women and girls' rights against sexual violence in, war. So while she's there, she went to the International Criminal Court where she met the president, I hope I say this right, Judge Hofmanski. I hope I'm, again, saying that correctly. Then she met up with the prosecutor, Karim Khan, and the registrar, Peter Lewis, among others. Go, Sophie, go. Next up, you have Mike Tyndall, looking very dapper. I don't know. I always like the way he's dressed, but that's just me. Anyway, he was at the Rugby Legends dinner at the governor's house. Looks like the food was amazing. Next up, you have the anti-slavery group. Now, this was co-founded by Princess Eugenie and a woman named Julia de Bonneville. And they got together and went to a place called Wisbech, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, to learn about the history of the anti-enslavement movement. They also met with some of the projects like the Ferry Project to see how they're supporting victims of this. All right, moving on. Princess Catherine, she went to a school in London and sat down with the students to talk to them about their teddy bears that they brought with them and a birthday cake. And this is all part of her new campaign, the initiative. She talked to the kids. She was apparently at a school called St. John's Primary School. And she talked to them about the important people in their lives, who they share their feelings with, and Barnaby Bear, of course. So Catherine is out. She's doing her thing. She's getting great accolades. Everybody is really excited about the project. And here comes Omid Scobie. He can't even say something nice. So what does he write? Well, I admire Catherine's commitment to her work. But to have any kind of real impact needs more than just quote unquote awareness. And then, of course, he plugs his column on Yahoo. I mean, he's completely discounting the 10 years worth of work that she's put in for this project. And I agree with Twitter user Bluesy. Omid's never raised a child. And he's literally dragging Catherine for doing something good and something that doesn't affect him at all. It's typical. Then you get people like this guy, Tony, on Twitter, who says, yeah, Kate Middleton tells the nation early years care are vital, and she knows because she heard one of her nannies say this once. And I completely agree with this Twitter user. This is a man deriding a mother of three and not thinking that it's misogynistic because she's a princess. Like, what does he think? She had the 3 kids, handed him over, and never touched them again? Like, what is he thinking? Ugh, the male perspective. What I love is that Catherine is not listening to any of the noise. It's going down the drain. She's paying no attention and she's doing her work. Love it. All right, moving on. Next up, we're moving on to Prince Charles, who sent a message to the president of Pakistan following a bomb attack. I think it's pronounced Peshawar. That's terrible. He also sent a message to everybody that was affected by flooding in New Zealand. Terrible. All right, I love this. King Charles is opening up 3 of his homes and calling them warm spaces. Love it. The idea behind this is to offer a safe, warm place. Local people who can't afford to heat their homes can go there, spend some time. A lot of the venues are offering food, water, electrical charging points, and of course, it gives you the ability to talk to other people. There's some social aspect to it as well, which I think is just lovely. Good for you, Charles. The 3 homes that are being opened up are Highgrove, a place called the Castle of May, and a place called Dumfries House. Now, let me just give you for instance. At Highgrove, you can go into the orchard room. You're given free hot drinks, free soup, access to board games, knitting, and other crafts. I just love that idea. Maybe Harry and Meghan will open up their house to all the homeless that are literally a mile down the road from them. What do you guys think? You think they would be willing to do an initiative? Yeah, I won't hold my breath either. All right, moving on. Next up, Charles held audiences with incoming ambassadors. First up was Mr. Yoon from the Republic of Korea. And I apologize for this, Mr. Dugmani Gnatsdoom, who is the ambassador for the Lao People's Democratic Republic. Now, the night before this, Charles and Camilla held a fabulous reception at Buckingham Palace. This reception was for British East and Southeast Asian communities. And of course, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, was there, as well as the Earl of Wessex, the Duke of Kent, and the Duchess of Gloucester. Guests at this reception encompassed different fields. Here we go. Armed forces, the arts, media, fashion, business, government, finance, healthcare, faith organizations, charities, and more. Now, in looking through these photos, I happened to notice that a lot of people were wearing, I guess you would call them ethnic costumes. Some of them were quite elaborate, very pretty. So I'm sure there was a method to the madness. Like, look at this lady on the left here, just gorgeous. I love this gown that this young lady is wearing in front of Camilla. There were a lot of really nice outfits there. Anyway, this took place last night. And by the way, I've already shown you the article for it. I loved Camilla's outfit. She was totally rocking the style at this reception. And I'm glad the family was able to come together to help support Charles. All right, let's stick with Camilla for a minute. Now, she went to Book Aid International. We know how much she loves books, and she donates libraries and stuff to charities. But Book Aid International is a charity that provides 1 million books each year to thousands of communities around the world, including refugee camps and hospitals and, whatnot. That's what they do, which I think it's an excellent charity. Now, what she was doing was stamping a selection of books that are going to the Kigali Public Library in Rwanda. Remember, she visited there. I know that this charity is one of her passions, the books and the reading. All right, moving on. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, is going to New Zealand. Yes, she's going to go visit the Corps of Signals, of which she is the Colonel-in-Chief. They are having a 100th anniversary celebration at their military camp in Linton, and she will be present. Go, Anne. Moving on, we have some more investitures. This young lady, Margarita, she is the Classic FM Smooth Classic presenter, and she got an MBE from King Charles during an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle. Here's another MBE given to Mr. Seacon by the king at the ceremony at Windsor Castle. Yes, that's Johnny to the left. All right, moving on. I noticed this on Twitter. Somebody wrote, Archewell is not a private foundation. It's a public charity. So therefore, all their tax returns and financials have to be publicly available upon request. So this person actually wrote an email and requested the 2021 tax return, I guess to get clarity on actually what they gave and where they gave it. Interesting. I'll be interested to see if that works. I know, utterly shocking, right? You're like, is that really all it takes? Just writing in a letter and I get the tax returns? It can't be that simple. All right, moving on. These articles are coming out that Meghan is thinking of parting ways with Prince Harry amid divorce predictions. I've already said that. She's used him. She's made a fool of him. Now she's in the perfect position to divorce him and leave him hanging. Let's just keep an eye on that, shall we? All right, moving on. All right, you guys, I showed you the story. Oprah had a huge birthday party. Meghan was obviously not there. I don't think she was invited. I've shown you the pictures and everybody's like, what's going on? We all know that these were the top tier A-listers at this party. And if Meghan had gotten an invite, she would have been there. So now the stories are coming out. You know this is coming directly from Montecito. No, Meghan wasn't snubbed. The story is incorrect. It's false. And I literally laughed when I read this because apparently this is the statement that's been put out. If there's one thing Oprah is, it's loyal. People are reading more into this than a supposed snub. My reading is that Oprah and the Sussexes realize this is a delicate moment for Harry and Meghan as we approach King Charles's coronation. And appearing at such a glitzy, high-profile event with Hollywood A-listers to honor Oprah is not what the Sussexes need right now. That would certainly rub King Charles the wrong way, not to mention an already hostile British public. I am certain that they all remain on friendly terms and are keeping the whole thing on the down low. So here's my take on it. If they were worried about delicate moments and keeping a low profile, that might have been something that they should have done when Philip was in the hospital dying instead of going on the Oprah show. Number one. Number two, this was not Oprah's official birthday party. This was a 25th anniversary party for the beauty brand Anastasia Beverly Hills, which happened to fall on the same weekend as Oprah's birthday party. And they're saying since Meghan wasn't around since the inception of the beauty brand, she wouldn't have gotten an invite. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. Oprah invites who Oprah wants to invite. And it wasn't her official birthday party, but they still brought out a cake and they still celebrated her birthday. So yeah, this whole thing about they want to lay low because it's a sensitive time is just not true. So I'm assuming that's why Spotify had the Women in Entertainment party. And this would have been the time for Meghan to go and shine due to her Archetypes podcast. And yet she was a no-show. I suppose now is a sensitive time and she shouldn't be going to the Spotify party? Uh-huh. All right, we're going to finish up this video. I showed you this yesterday. These are outfits from Catherine that Meghan copycatted. Like some of them are really obvious. But what I didn't show you yesterday was pictures of Meghan with outfits that she copycatted from Diana, and Evans Einstein put this up. Very interesting. So I think what she did was she said to the stylists, you see this outfit Diana wore? Find that fabric and modernize it for today. And that's what I'm going to wear. I think that's what she did. So here are some clips from a video that I did over a year ago showing this. Watch this. All right, here we are with our fundraiser. As you can see at the very bottom, I transferred in $217 from my Patreon. And as you can see at the very top, I'm transferring in $283. It's not there yet. At least I don't think it's there yet. So the balance right now is $1,004.16. I believe that does not include the $283, but I'll let you know as soon as that money shows up. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Leave those comments and make them good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. Don't forget, if you've already hit the button, to double check and make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to go up into the description box and you'll find the links for my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, and my Patreon account. If you've donated money through the coffee fund, thank you so much. If you've donated through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.